let's get into the Kelvin Kinuthia of it all. Now, Kelvin Kinuthia has been known as a cross-dresser, or a person who dresses in female attire. And we've seen him on the streets. Literally, he dresses as a woman. It's not like a thing that he hides. He really just does it in public. And let's be honest, he does look good in those outfits. Now, a lot of people, obviously, because of this cross-dressing situation, I've been very keen to ask him, what gender do you represent? Like, are you male or are you a female? And this one is one of those questions which he's never really given us an answer upright, or he's never really disclosed what his stance is. Are you a man? Are you a woman? Do you identify as a man or do you identify as a woman? And even now, in a very roundabout way, he still doesn't tell us, but this is what he said when he was asked about this question. He said that ultimately, if you see him as a man, then just see him as a man. If you see him as a woman, then see him as a woman. It's really entirely up to you. He said, wewe ni ile gender, unajua, I am just wewe ni ile gender, mimi, you think that I am? Just stick to that. Usiende ingine. He said it's normal for him when he dresses like a woman. It feels comfortable. If he didn't feel comfortable, he wouldn't do it. And he said he's very well aware of what he's doing. So he's not being coerced. He's not doing it for any other reason other than he wants to do it. And then other people were asking further, like, how do you feel about this dressing? How do you feel about it? Like, what's your stance? Again, he said, huwa si feel weird, but sini mimi nimeamua na kichwa yangu nitavaa wig. Nitavaa dress na nitoke nje. Why should I feel weird? So we're like, okay, power to you, Kinus. Obviously, people were asking him, then why not just change your name into a female name? And he said, most people usually have their surname as a male name, and if they decide to call themselves by that name, what stops them, you know? He doesn't see the point of changing a name simply because anyone can be called Kinuthia. Female, male, you can be called Kinuthia, because if you decide to take your surname, it's probably going to be a male name. And he continued to actually say, mimi sionangi ikiwa big deal because it's a name of a person. And he ended up by saying that, hey, by the way, for those asking about me wanting children, I am going to have children at a point that I feel I am ready. And he said, how we'll know that he's ready is when Kinuthia actually decides to get 3 cars and build himself a house. When we see 3 cars and we see a house, just know he's ready and he's going to have children. And he said, for those trying to speculate who I'm going to have the children with and how I'm going to have the children, that's a you problem. I'm seriously just going to pop a baby and that will be the end of that conversation. So I'm like, okay, power to you, Kinuthia. I think, honestly, he seems to have his life together. He seems to be happy with what he's doing. He said he's a very prayerful person. So, yeah, with all the blessings that he's getting, he said, obviously, I am a prayerful person, and I continue to live my life how I want to live my life. So I'm like, okay, cool. I think Kinuthia seems to know what he's doing, so let's just leave him be. Let him just enjoy his life the way he wants to enjoy his life, and leave all the speculations alone. When he's ready, when he's good and ready, he's probably going to tell us what his situation is and why he has chosen this lifestyle for himself. I personally have nothing against him, and I have nothing to contribute to the rest of this conversation.